everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. You may hear a little bit of background noise today, and if you do, I'm sorry for it, but my boys are wide awake and they're just in there living their best life while they play their video game. But either way, I'm bringing to you today a budgeting video, and it is a little bit different for me because not only am I going to be using the documents that I created, they're available in my shop. The link is listed below. It's on my Etsy shop, and it's a full budgeting bundle. It would actually include an undated calendar with no title, but the color is still there. Or you can get the whole year that says budget dated, and that is available there as well. Either way, what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and hop right in. I'm going to fill out what I can in here, as well as filling out what I can. So I have the monthly budget calendar, which I'm going to fill in all of our bills. I changed up the savings sheet so that it actually is more customizable by saying this is what I'm saving for. Originally it said ready to move fund, but that was because it is what we were using it for. And then we decided to stay where we're at for another year, and it gives us a little bit extra time. So this sheet is actually not going to get filled out right now because I do not have a goal amount in mind. This will be the monthly budget sheet, a weekly check-in, which I will be doing updates on, weekly budget, a bi-weekly budget, and a transaction log. I am trying, we were doing a weekly budget, and I've decided to change it up just a little bit, and I'm going to be doing some different amounts and doing a bi-weekly budget, sort of. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in, and we're going to fill out this calendar. I do have a highlighter, but I'm going to go in with my handy dandy Pilot Precise V5 RT because it is my favorite writing pen right now. So I'm going to move these pages out of the way and get started. So, rent, which this RDX is my car. That is one of my credit cards. This one is about to be paid off and gone. This is our cell phone bill. My car payments actually due every 2 weeks, which is why it's listed on there twice. And that is our renter's insurance. It's actually a newer bill for us. And our power bill, I believe, will be due this day. So I'm just going to go ahead and write city, because our power bill actually includes power, water, trash, sewer, I think those are all of it, and waste or yard waste pickup, so like grass clippings. So I've got all of these filled out, and I get paid weekly on Thursdays, but I don't do our budget, do most of our budgeting until Friday and Saturday, so we're not going to really worry too much about that. Considering the way that the month started, the first being on a Wednesday, our budget is going to be from the 2nd through the 8th. So all of these things are going to be due and paid before my next paycheck. And then again, with the following, there are no bills due on these days, but they're due on these days, etc. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to fill out the monthly budget sheet and use the dates in the calendar to fill it out a little bit. So car insurance is also something that we have as a bill, but it is not due this month. So it's actually going to be listed as an envelope specifically. I believe that this might be a little confusing just the way that I do our budget. But I like to have all of our bills in one place and then I break them apart, the ones that are not paid digitally, and put them in the envelope section and our sinking funds over here. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the ones that I pay digitally. So of these, I want to say 12, I think, bills here. 5 of them are digital. The rest of them I do have envelopes for. So I'm going to go ahead and write down the amounts that I budget for. This one is actually due twice, so I'm just going to write the amount that's due. All right, so what goes in envelopes is going to be all of my cards. So red. And I'm sure you noticed that I did not include this particular card in the envelopes, but I don't have to budget for it because we don't use that card. The amount that is due, the minimum payment is $30. We actually have the entire balance that is due, and it is going to get paid on the due date, which is the 19th. I'll pay it before then, but we already have that money set aside, so I don't have it budgeted in our envelopes. So I'm gonna go ahead and write. All right, sinking funds are going to be Christmas, saving, and where did my list go so that I can remember everything? Oh, and I forgot one more bill. clearly I need to add one more box there. So all right, and then debt snowball, I don't have a certain amount budgeted. I do, but I don't. So we'll get into that on another page, and we may have to come back and fill this back in. But the amount, it won't be determined until I'm done with everything. But right now we're going to debt snowball, and the debt snowball payment will be going to my husband's car, which is the Dodge. So I'm going to go ahead and write Dodge here. And we'll come back to this amount. I don't have anything to go in the other category just yet. Still working on this style of budgeting instead of just writing a bunch of numbers in my notebook, which I do a lot of. I also don't want to put the total amount of money that I make, but I will go ahead and write down my paycheck dates, which will be 7/2, 7/9, 7/16, 7/23, and 7/30. We'll go back over the monthly budget when we do the weekly check-in. Which is this sheet, but we don't have anything to put on it just yet, so we're going to skip it. We'll go to weekly budget. All right, weekly budget, which I have already mocked up for myself. So there are some things that every week something will get paid. So for the weekly budget, it will be, I included both of them for anybody who did one or the other, but I'm going to kind of do a hybrid right now. So bills that I pay every week are going to be rent, city, Sprint, and what I pay weekly is $260 for rent, put aside $50-ish. You know what, I'm wrong. I actually changed the amount and I have it alternating. I think really I don't need to use this page because I don't pay the same amount to everything every week except for on rent. So sorry, got ahead of myself. We'll be doing our bi-weekly budget instead. So forget about the last page. We'll go off of this page because it's a little bit better to follow. And I will go right here so that I can write them in the order I had them in. So rent, I'm going to list my credit cards as CCs because I don't do each of them individually. I kind of group them together and then split the money apart, which I mean it's the same thing, but it saves on using lines. I also have my, I guess sinking fund would be groceries. I have a whole list of stuff and I just realized I messed up. Sorry, it's going in my other category. Let's go back real quick. So there's groceries, spending, gas. Okay, weekly. Right now we are using the food that we have already stocked up on. So we have a separate deep freezer and we have quite a bit of food in there because when I first got it, I packed it full of stuff. And because of that, I wanted to be able to go ahead and have food on hand. So right now we're working through our freezer and our pantry, so we're not putting aside the same amount of money towards groceries just for the time being and putting that money elsewhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these down here before I forget about them. All right, so since I listed some of my envelopes as bills, I'm going to cross them out and put them down here. And I'm sorry, this is really, I'm so not confused, but I'm so nervous that I know I'm doing things a little funky, and I'm really sorry for it. Okay, so weekly I do $260 for rent and lemonade because they pull from the same account. And so it will always be the same amount that I put away for it because we are also saving a little bit with that to kind of give us a head start on having an amount of money that we're able to move with. The RDX gets paid on week 1. The city gets $40 on week 1 and $50 on week 2. Sprint actually gets $50 every week. All right. Groceries gets $40 on week 1 and $50 on week 2. Spending stays the same, so it is weekly at $40. Gas is $30 on week 1 and $40 on week 2. All right, internet's going to be $22.50 on week 1. All right, credit cards are $30 on week 1 and $40 on week 2. Mission Lane, we're just going to mark through it for right now. And Dodge does not get paid on week 1. Week 2, it gets paid. Where did I put that number? 65, 75. And then car insurance actually gets paid $80 on week 2. Christmas is $10 on week 1, $20 on week 2. Savings is 20 on week 1 and 30 on week 2. And then Dodge is going to be our snowball for right now. And right now, and I have to redo the numbers because I feel like I've done it not wrong, but I think I changed something after I wrote out the original. So right now it is $4 on week 1 and $21 on week 2. So I'm going to bring back the monthly calendar just to add in which ones are week 1 and week 2. So all right, so that means each of these things will come out twice if it has one or the other listed. And I am going to go ahead and darken out the ones. Now, doing our budget like this is actually kind of a bit of an experiment for me right now, because we don't typically do our budget bi-weekly. We do a weekly budget, which for a while felt like we were being a little stretched thin. Not that it really has been that way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in. So bills on week 1 and week 2. Now I'm not gonna be as great at doing mental math when it comes to these numbers because they're bigger, but I will try. Right now, these numbers are tentative. They may change coming up next week when it comes down to if I've budgeted correctly based on my income. My income is a little bit variable right now. I was a salary employee until the pandemic started. Then we switched to hourly because we weren't getting our full hours. They were, all kinds of unknown. So the dollar amount, it does vary. And I try to do a zero-based budget. So this is as close as it's going to get to what it may be. All right, so that is going to be that's going to be our tentative bi-weekly budget for now. I promise I'll actually fix this before we do the check-in. But right now, that's roughly what it's going to be. Again, these numbers may change, but hopefully this will look a lot better when you see it next time. We'll put that away. Next is the transaction log, and I will start filling this in. The categories here will be the categories listed here. So I'm going to, in the description, put where and what I bought. Like, say I went to Walmart and I bought groceries, or I bought, or I went to Walmart and it was spending money that was used. But the category would be, other, or, sinking funds, etc. So I'm going to have that filled in a little bit, and we'll go in and do a weekly check-in at the end of the week. But thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry for the little bit of confusion on my part. Again, this is the first time I've done this style of budget, and on top of that, it's the first time I've ever filmed my budget. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any suggestions about the sheets, something that you may want added or removed, or something that may be more helpful for others than, say, it was for me. Again, thank you very much for watching, and y'all have a good day.